Okay, so hi and welcome to PSYdoc, which is a project that aims to make pseudonymous signing easy and accessible. So PSYdoc is essentially a web application that allows you to pseudonymously sign documents without the document actually leaving your device, as opposed to traditional solutions where they store your documents on a central server. So how we do this is by locally hashing your document. And once the document has been hashed, the hash is sent to the ETF network and where the NFT is generated. And once the NFT is generated, when you can invite other people to sign this document. And when they want to sign the document, they upload their own documents, their own copy of the document. And if the two hashes match, they proceed with the signing.
All right. Before we give you a demo of the project, I'll walk you through some of the steps that you need to go through. So first, you select the file that you want to hash. It could be any file. The file size limit depends on your system. If your system can handle large file, hashing of large files, then it will work. So locally, a KK 256 hash is computed. So your file does not leave your device. You select a file and then locally on your system, the hash is computed. Okay, so after you compute the hash, after the app computes the hash, a NFT is minted. And the metadata of the NFT is the hash of the file. So you have an NFT of the NFT representation of the file. You can now invite other people to sign your NFT. To sign your NFT on a web app, you just need to invite people to sign the NFT. And yeah, once you invite the person, the person with that address can just check, cross-verify if the file he holds is the same as the file that was hashed. And if the hashes are same, then the person can sign the NFT. Sri.
Yeah, so we'll move on to the demo so that you guys can understand what we just said a bit more clearly. So this is PSYdoc, and first we'll mint a document. So that is basically a document that I want someone else to sign. So I'll go ahead and choose a file. So once I choose my file, it gives me the basic information of the file, and I can go ahead and submit it. And I'll go ahead and accept the transaction. And as you can see, the NFT has been minted. So now I will go ahead and invite someone else to actually sign the document. So here I have to select the token ID of the transaction. So it is chronologically ordered. So the latest NFT would be token ID 17. This is something that we want to solve as we work on the user interface further. But for the purpose of this demo, we need to select the token ID manually. Once we do so, we can go ahead and add the address of the person who we want to sign the document. So I'll go ahead and select another account of mine. Press invite. Accept the transaction. Yeah, and that's done. So the invite has been sent, and the other person can now view the token and view the NFT and actually sign it. So I'll go to the signing process now. So if I go home, change my account. Now this is the token ID placeholder that was there in my first account. So this has to be communicated between the two parties. So if you remember, it was 17. And I have to choose my copy of the file. And now you can see that both the hashes match. And so I know that the document that I'm going to sign is the same as the document that I have. and I can go ahead and sign it. Yeah, so I've signed the document. So I'll go back. And if we go to the initial account, and go to my docs, token ID 17. Now you can see 2 people have signed it. So this is the basic process of creating and minting a document essentially, and having someone else sign it. Now I can invite other people to sign it as well. So we'll go back to the presentation. So that is how PSYdoc essentially works. So what problems does PSYdoc actually want to solve? So first of all, it ensures authenticity of the document. So the document is, if the document is tampered with, obviously the hash will change. And if the hash changes, I would be notified at the time of signing so that I don't have to sign it. Or I can know that there has been, something has gone wrong with the document that I was supposed to sign. The next part is that it ensures persistence of data. So the document or the NFT remains on the blockchain forever unless and until it's burnt. So that ensures that the document that rather than document, the hash of the document that I once entered, once uploaded for signing, remains there forever. Next part is what we focus on the most, and that is that the file is always locally stored. So the file actually never leaves your device. So your copy of the file never leaves your device, and your sign or your document is never actually stored on a central server. And the document signing process is fast and hassle-free, and it can be made further hassle-free by making certain changes to the user interaction system. But even now, it is fast and it's easy. It's just clicking a few buttons and you're done with the signing of the document. So the scope of PSYdoc is to essentially make the e-signing process more feasible and secure. It can be made, as I said earlier, since this is our prototype, we can improve on the user interaction system to make the process of signing and selecting accounts and all that much more easier and make it much more hassle-free. And the other part that is of very that can be used in a lot of different areas is actually the verification of documents. So if documents are actually issued by a central agency or a document, or sorry, a government, then you can use PSYdoc, and other people can also use PSYdoc to actually verify if the document is correct or not, or if the document or the ID that they possess is actually a valid ID or a valid document or not. So it can be used for document verification processes as well, and for issuing documents. So a central agency or a company or a government can actually issue documents using PSYdoc, which makes it a very versatile product. And the importance of PSYdoc is that especially in developing countries, the economy is becoming more and more digital day by day. And PSYdoc actually aims to capitalize on this digitization by making the process of documents, which is inevitable. Document interfacing is something that is inevitable in any economy, let alone developing economies, which are becoming digital more and more quickly. So PSYdoc actually aims to capitalize on that and make that process a bit more legitimate, a bit more secure, and a bit more easy. So that was PSYdoc. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. One question from the audience is, where are your files minted by your project stored?
The files are not stored anywhere. The files are actually, no file is minted, right? So the file is actually in our browser itself on our local device. It is minted on the browser and only the hash is stored.
Okay. Yeah. Hope that answered your questions, to do.
And I actually forgot to show this. And if you want, you can see that the transactions have actually gone through. Yeah, so 5 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago. So yeah.
Yep, cool. Okay, yeah, I don't see any other questions coming up in the chat room. So I guess if you guys don't have any other things to share, that'll be it for today. And thank you very much for sharing your project. It's absolutely a very interesting one to pay attention.